Now let us discuss about some interesting topic, which is the the nature of the entropy. So, is it a state function or is it a path function? Okay, so according to thermodynamics, they said that entropy is actually a state function. So entropy is as is your state function. State function. So what is the meaning of state function? State function means that the state function does not depend upon the path through which it get that state. Okay, so it will not going to depends upon the path. Okay, let's suppose a system. This is their initial state. Okay, let's suppose this is your initial state. Let's suppose this is A. Okay, so it will get some other state. Let's suppose this is the final state B. Okay, and this is, let's suppose this is the part A. Okay, so by following this part A, the state A can get the state B. Okay, suppose, and let's suppose the A can be again achieved by using a different path. This is a defined path. Okay, let's suppose this is a defined path, and this is B, let's suppose. Okay, so according to thermodynamics, the entropy at this state, let's suppose the entropy is S1 and this is your S2. The entropy of that state is, let's say final state is S2, let's suppose. Okay, so according to thermodynamics, if you choose this path to achieve this the state B, that means entropy 2, that is entropy S2. Okay, if you choose this path, then you will going to achieve the entropy S2. And if you even choose different path like this one, or even any other any path, okay, you can choose any path to get this one, then also at this final step the entropy will be S2. It will not going to depends upon the path. Okay, so this is the mainly basic point. Okay, so whether you will going to follow this path or you will going to follow some different path, okay, then also let's suppose you see, so that also then also you will going to get the same entropy value at the final step B. Understand? But if you you can relate this one with work. Okay, but work is a path function. Okay, so the meaning of this one is that the entropy is what state function, but work is a path function. Why work is path function? Because you see here, if you choose this path, then you have to do less work than this part. This part is a long part now, so you have to do higher work than this one. Okay, so that means work will going to depends upon the path. Okay, so from here to here we have to do, let's suppose you have to do W1, and from here to here let's suppose you have to do W2 or W3 work. Let's suppose it's W2. Okay, so this W1 and W3 is not equal, okay, or even W2, W1 is not equal to W2 and W2 is not equal to W3. Okay, that means work is in state function. So interestingly, if you so from this discussion we understand that the state that means the entropy is a state function. Okay, which will not going to depends upon the path. Okay, that means if we follow this path to get the state B, and we again get back from B to A by following this same path, then since it will not going to depends upon the path, then what will going to happen? The entropy at this position will be, sense of entropy will be 0. Understand? Or even it is, even if we follow this path to get the state B, okay, and use some different path to get back their initial state, then also the entropy sense at that position will be 0. Okay, so the entropy sense, the sense of entropy will be 0, means we're going to get the same entropy because it will not going to depend upon the partner. So we can get the same entropy after anything. So let's suppose this one, let's suppose the entropy of this one is S. Okay, so you can follow any path. Okay, so if you get back this by using any path, then the entropy will be same at that path now. Understand? So let's suppose that initially the entropy is S1 at that, okay, at that position, at that state. Okay, so if you follow the path A, then after completing the path, that means after getting the initial state, the entropy will be same. That means S1. Or if you follow this path to get back the initial state, then also the entropy will be the same S1. So that del S is equal to what? A change of entropy at center of entropy for this cyclic process. This is cyclic process. Now it will get back to its initial position. So it is cyclic process. Okay, the del S is equal to 0 for the cyclic process. So this is your integration cyclic. So here it is integration. No? So integration means we use integration to sum up the path. No? Okay, so every steps. Okay, because this is a continuous process, so we use integration. Okay, so but what we have to do, we have to add a circle to represent it is a that the process or the process is a cyclic process. Okay, so ds is equal to 0. Why 0? Because there's no sense, because this is a state function. Okay, so I hope you understand this point. Okay, so that means if the integration, cyclic integration ds is equal to 0, if we can prove this one, then we can say that the entropy is a state function. Okay, I hope you understand up to this. So what we have to do, we have to prove this one. So how are we going to prove? Actually, we are going to prove this ds cyclic integration ds is equal to 0 for three systems, or by 3 steps. Okay, so actually here in the second point it is written that we can justify the state function, that means the state function nature of the entropy by using three steps. The first step is actually what we have to do is that the equation one, that means ds is equal to 0. Okay, so we have to prove this equation. That means we have to prove that this equation is true for a spatial cycle. So let's suppose we are going to take a cycle which is known as Carnot cycle. Okay, so we have to prove that this is true for a spatial cycle, and that spatial cycle is your Carnot cycle. So okay, so first we are going to prove this one for a spatial cycle. Okay, second is that we have to prove that this is equal to 0 whatever the working substance. So for that Carnot cycle, okay, for that Carnot cycle, so if we use different substance, okay, if the substance is different, so it will we have to prove that it is true for all the substance present in the universe. Okay, so we have to, second point, we have to prove that, okay, that it is true for all the substance. Okay, that means if you use this use different substance, then also this will be true. Okay, number third is you have to prove that this del S equal to 0 for all the cycle, or any cycle, or any, you can say any cycle. So that means first we have to prove for a particular type of cycle, then we have to prove that this is true for any substance present in that cycle, and we have to prove that this is true for any cycle. So if we prove these three, then we can say that this is universal. Okay, that means this is universal. That means the universal is thermodynamically this is acceptable things. That means we know that thermodynamics can be used in any macroscopic system. Okay, so we can use that this concept in any macroscopic system. Okay, So that means entropy is an what state function for any macroscopic system. So this is our main aim. So this is our objective. Okay, actually we have to prove this. This is our objective, to prove for a Carnot cycle for all substance, then any cycle. Okay, so let us prove this first point. Okay, so to prove this first point, we have to know what is the Carnot cycle. Okay, so let us discuss this first Carnot cycle. So number one is Carnot cycle. Okay, so what is Carnot cycle? Actually, Carnot cycle is a cycle which is actually introduced by a scientist known as Sadiq Carnot, and it actually consists of 4 reversible states. Okay, so what actually they did, actually it is like, you can draw it like this way. Here it is a pressure and here the volume. Okay, pressure and volume. So let's consider state 1. Okay, at that state, let's suppose the temperature is your T is. Okay, so let's wait. Okay, so let's discuss about the Carnot engine or Carnot cycle. So what they did first, let's suppose a state A, and let's suppose at this state the system is like this. Okay, so we can actually here we can add a piston, frictionless piston. Okay, so if we increase that increase the volume by by removing this piston upward. Okay, or if you pull out this piston upward, then what will going to happen? The volume of the system will going to increase. Okay, let's suppose initially the temperature is TH. Okay, at that for that state A. Okay, so let's suppose this is your isothermal process. That means the temperature will be constant. So when you will going to remove the or not remove, actually you pull out the piston from that cylinder, then their volume will going to increase. So when the volume will going to increase, we know that pressure will going to decrease. So it will be like volume, you want to increase the volume. Okay, so it will be volume will going to increase now, so the pressure will going to decrease. So what will going to happen? Volume increase, pressure decrease. Okay, volume increase, pressure decrease. This is your isothermal, actually at isothermal condition. Okay, so that means the temperature is constant, so it is known as isothermal. Okay, so this part, so let's suppose it will get after from here, suppose this is your state A, and when we pull this one up to this one, let's suppose we pull this piston up to this one, then it will going to get the system B. Okay, that state B. Okay, that means that system will going to get state B. Okay, so this is your isothermal process, and during that isothermal process, and let's suppose this process is your reversible process. That means the pulling of that piston is very we pull this piston infinitesimally small. Actually the difference between this dP is equal to very small pressure. Okay, very small, infinitesimally small. Okay, so that means this is a reversible process. So let's suppose the process is reversible. So we know that for that reversible isothermal process, the entropy change for entropy change okay, entropy change for when the system will go from A to B, then during this expansion process, then it will be what? It will be your, the entropy change will be ds is equal to, we know that Q reversible, but Q is here is. Okay, Q is because let's suppose the heat is at that position is at that condition is Q is. Okay, since we did not, the temperature is constant, so so it will be your Q is by T is, but this is your reversible. Okay, you can write also even reversible. So this is the first one. This is the process one. Here also it is written the process one, the reversible isotherms. In the notes also you can see that it is written reversible isotherm expansion, and the process 1 and 3 actually. So in 1, if you consider the process actually the step 1, then you able to see that the entropy change will be ds is equal to qh by ts. Okay, so this is from definition. Okay, and because this is your reversible isothermal process, so we can write this one. Okay, understand? So ds is equal to qh by ts. So let's suppose now let's suppose again we increase the volume. Let's suppose we can again increase. Now let's suppose the cylinder is very tall, let's suppose. Okay, so let's suppose this is your second position. So we can again pull the piston from point B to point C. Okay, but let's suppose this process from B to C is adiabatic process. That means no heat can go outside or inside. That means from the first step, that means from this is A, no? State A. Okay, so from A to B, when the expansion from A to B occur, then temperature is not will not going to change, but heat can come from outside or it can go to the outside. Okay, so this is your isothermal, but heat can go. That means change of heat will going to occur. That means this change of heat will going to occur. That's why the entropy will going to change at that constant, at that temperature. Change of heat will be there because heat can go inside or heat can go outside. Okay, or it can come inside. Okay, so that's why we get the change in entropy. But here if you expand, or if you pull out the piston further from B to C, but this process, let's suppose this process is, so from here to here it is what, this is your isothermal process. Isothermal, this is your isothermal process. Okay, but from here to here, let's suppose this is adiabatic process. So in this adiabatic process, what will going to happen? There will be no any change of what, this is your heat. There no any change of heat will be there. Okay, but temperature can be changed. Okay, so what is so we can represent this one by, so that means when we're going to increase the volume, then the sudden change of pressure will be there. Okay, or if you change the pressure, then a small amount of volume change will be there in that. But this is, let's suppose this is C. Okay, so this is your what, this is process 1, this is 2. So this second process is actually what, the entropy change for that when B to C, when B will going to, but this is what your isothermal, but this is your let's suppose this is your adiabatic process. So that for that process ds is equal to what, qs by ts. So even we can write here ds. Okay, dq qs. Okay, understand? But here the thing is that there will be no any change in heat. Why there will be no any change? Because this is the adiabatic process. No heat will going to come from outside to the system, or no heat will go from inside to outside. So there will be no any change. So we can write here 0. So in the second step, that means this step, okay, there will be no any change of, so here ds is equal to 0. But here in this process, what, ds is equal to qs by ts. Understand? You can even write dqs also, no problem. Okay, so now let's us again what we can do. So we can from here b to let's suppose again we can compress this one. And now let us compress. But now let's suppose this compression is your isothermal compression. That means the temperature will be same. So here temperature, so in that first step no temperature change will be there. So during from here to here, when you actually for this graph the temperature will going to remain constant. Okay, it will be TH. So that's why it is isothermal. But here no change in what Q. QH will not going to change, but TH can be changed. So TH will going to decrease to the, let's suppose, TC. Okay, but here temperature will going to change. That means this temperature will going to change, but dQH will not going to change during the adiabatic process. Okay, so ds is equal to 0, but temperature will going to fall down to Tc. Okay, so again at that temperature, that means at constant temperature Tc, let us compress this one. Okay, so during this compression, what will going to happen? This process is what? Your isothermal process. So there will be again ds, and ds is equal to what? Qc by Tc, because the heat will be Qc and temperature will be Tc. Let's suppose. Okay, so for the third process, the entropy for the third process will be from C to D. That means this is a compression. Okay, so these two are what? Expansion. These two are expansion. Okay, these two process 1 and process 2 are your expansion process, and process 3 and process 4 are actually your compression. Okay, compression. That means we will going to push the what, this is a piston inside the cylinder. Okay, so compression. For this compression, what, this is your what? This is your isothermal, because this process the temperature is going to remain constant. So let's suppose this process is your isothermal process. So that means in this case there will be change in the change of the entropy will be your dQc by Tc. Okay, dQc by Tc. Understand? But here there will be change in heat, because this is isothermal process, but temperature is going to remain constant. Understand? So here the entropy change will be Qc dQc by Tc. Okay, so number 4 is, let's suppose, finally this is your D now. Finally, for adiabatic compression, let's suppose we compress the gases from D to A adiabatically. So if we did that adiabatically, then entropy change will be what? Entropy change for that adiabatic compression from D to A, it will be what? ds is equal to again dQc by Tc. But here dq is not, because it is adiabatic. This is what? Adiabatic. So if it is adiabatic, that means that dq by dc is equal to 0. That means no change in heat energy will be there, because the wall is adiabatic. So that means this is equal to 0. So finally what we get? We get 4 main. So we have 4 steps. Okay, we have 4 steps, where in the first step it is expansion, isothermal expansion, and for that step ds is equal to dQh by Th. Understand? And the second step is your adiabatic expansion from B to C, and since adiabatically it expands, so no change of heat, so it is equal to 0. So ds is equal to 0, and no change of entropy would be there. So last, finally, the compression part. Number 3 step 3, entropy change for when C to D, when we compress the system from C to D, then isothermally, then the change in entropy will be dQc by Tc. Okay, and the fourth step is actually the entropy change from D to A when we did it adiabatically. That means the compression is adiabatic, so again there will be no any change of entropy. So from this 4 step, what we can conclude? We can conclude that total change in entropy during the cycle from, again actually you say this is actually a cycle, no? From actually this is your say from A to B we get. Okay, this is isothermal, adiabatic, B to C, different process. Okay, that means this is a different process. This is your different process, this is different process, and finally we get back to that initial position. So that means a cycle. Okay, cycle, that means it is a cyclic process. Okay, for this cyclic process, what you get, the total entropy change is equal to what, your ds1. Let's suppose this is your ds1. Okay, so this is ds1, this is ds2, this is ds3 for step 3, and this is ds4. Okay, so for even ds1 plus ds2 plus ds3 plus ds4. Okay, hope you understand up to this. So let us discuss now. Okay, so what will happen after this? Okay, so we have the value total entropy. Okay, so the total entropy, this is because this is the process is what, a cyclic process. Okay, because from a to a, it is coming from a to again to a. Okay, so ds is equal to ds1 plus ds2 plus ds3 plus ds4. So total 4 processes are there. So this is what, this is your isothermal expansion from a to b. So this is your isothermal expansion from a to b, adiabatic expansion from b to c, isothermal compression from c to d, and this one is adiabatic compression from d to again a. So this is a cyclic process from a to a. Okay, so from that discussion we able to understand from this one is your dq is by t is, okay, plus 0 plus dqc by tc plus 0. Okay, actually the this part, it is in the note, it is written ds is equal to qh by ts, but it should be d. Okay, dqh by ts. So correct this one. Okay, so I will actually give you the notes in the, actually the link of this note. Actually I will going to attach this notes in the description of this video, so you can download from there. So I will going to correct this one and upload this notes in the description of this video. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so it is so this will be your what, that means the total change of entropy will be ds qs by ts plus dqc by tc. Okay, so this is your final result. But the thing is that actually we're going to note one thing, that dq is ts, and the value of actually dqc by tc is equal to minus dqs by ts. Okay, so we're going to get this value. Okay, so in the next part we're going to discuss about this one. Actually the value of dqc by tc is equal to minus dqh by th. Okay, so what we can write, minus dqh by th. Okay, so we're going to prove this one. Okay, this is step first let's finish this one, then we're going to discuss. Okay, so that means it will going to cancel each other and it will equal to 0. So ds is equal to 0. For that means what we understand, so first step is over. Okay, so first step, what we have to do, what was our objective? Our objective, there are 3 objectives are there, no? So first objective, it is we have to prove that del s integration, cyclic integration ds is equal to del s is, sorry, ds is equal to 0. We have to prove this one for a cyclic process, and we have already proved that this is true for a cyclic process, that is a Carnot cycle. Okay, that means for a Carnot cycle we have proved that as that entropy is a state function. Okay, so this first step is over. Okay, now first we're going to prove this one, this step, actually why dqc by tc is equal to minus dqh by th. Okay, then we're going to discuss the second step. That means we're going to prove that this equation is true for any substance. Okay, so let us first, okay, so here it is written that, so let us prove this one. So it is here in the justification part, it is the proof is given. Actually here you see this actual justification is based on the fact that the two temperature lie in the same adiabant in that figure, in that cycle, as explained. And for a perfect case, actually for a perfect case we have what, qs and qc. Okay, so this is for higher temperature ts. For ts temperature we have this amount of heat, and tc temperature we have this amount of heat. Okay, so what we have to do now, so again, since the first process from one, the process one, that means from a to b, this process is what, your isothermal process. So for that isothermal, this one is isothermal, and also from c to d, this is your third process now, this is your second process, and this is your fourth process. Okay, a b c d. So actually 1 and 2, 1 and 3, actually 3 are what, isothermal. But for 1 and 2, actually 1, for 1 it is actually qh, and for 3 it will actually qc, amount of energy. Okay? This is your qh, amount of energy. So how, so we know that for isothermal process we know that work is equal to nRT ln v2 by v1. We have already proved this one. Okay, but here we know that actually the work is totally actually is equal to the qh. Okay, so qh is for this part, the first part, that is 1, the isothermal, this for a to b. How many work we have to do, some work to get from a to b now, so that work will be your actually qh. Okay, and this is actually n r t, but t is what here, t is th. The temperature for this one is what, qh is equal to th. Okay, so that means here for this isotherm, the temperature is constant, and that constant temperature is ts. Okay, ts and rt, oh sorry, rt is done, rt ln v2 by v1. So v2 here vb. Okay, vb by v1 is equal to va. Okay, so this is your qh. So qh is equal to what, nRT ln vb by va. Okay, similarly qc is equal to, for third step, it is your wc is equal to qc is equal to nRT, but here tc, because the temperature of this isothermal is, or this isotherm is tc. Okay, ln, and the volume here it is v2 here, what, v2 is d, because it is the step, this is the process now, this is the direction. Okay, so the final direction, final volume will be vd. Okay, so vd, and the initial volume is equal to vc. So actually what is this actually, vc vd, so because here it is v now, it is the pressure, so actually vd is actually this volume. Okay, vd, and this volume is actually vc. Okay, this volume is actually your vb, and this volume is actually your v. And so if you confuse this one, then do it cleanly. Okay, so it will be like this. Okay, this is your a, b, c, and d. Okay, so this is your pressure, this is your volume. Okay, so actually this is your va, this is your vd, dd, and this is your v, this point is what, v b, and this point is your vc. Okay, so this point vd va, understand, no? So, and here this is step is your isothermal, this is isothermal adiabatic. The temperature of this one is th, and qh for this one, and this one is what, tc. The temperature of this isothermal is tc, and qc. Okay, so that's why we get, so the qc is equal to this one, understand, no? So we have these two for what, two isothermal process. That means the process step 1 and 2 or 3, we have qh is equal to this one, and qc is equal to this one. Okay, for the relation between the temperature and the volume of the reversible adiabatic process, so for this 2 and 4 process, what we can write, we can write that it is already discussed in the previous classes, okay, that for adiabatic process actually VATH to the power C is equal to VD TC to the power C, and VC TC to the power C is equal to VB TH to the power C. So we have this 2 for the step 2 and 4, okay, the adiabatic 2 adiabatic steps. So we have what? We have QH and QC, and for the isothermal processes, that means the process, this two are for what? This is for 1, this is for 2, second one, not second, this is 3, okay, and this is for 2 and this is for 4, okay. So we have this relation. So now what we have? So we have QH is equal to nRTH ln P by VA, okay, and QC is equal to nRTC ln D by VC, okay, and again this is for the step 1, this is for step 3 in the Carnot cycle, okay, in the Carnot cycle, and these are what? These are for isothermal, okay, isothermal process. This is the isothermal process. And for the adiabatic process THC is equal to VD TC to the power C, and VC TC to the power C is equal to VB TH to the power C. So if you multiply this one with this one, then what will you get? You will get VA VC TH to the power C TC to the power C is equal to VD VB TH to the power C TC to the power C. So multiplication of the first of this expression by the second, first one by second, you will going to get this one, okay. So this relation we have, so which actually simplifies, if you simplify this one, then you will get VA by VB is equal to VD by VC. What is the meaning of it? That means QC is equal to what? We have already, we get from this one, QC is equal to what? nRT, okay, C ln VD by VC. But here we know that VD is equal to VC, so VD by VC is equal to VA by VB. So we can, what we can write here, we can write nRT C ln A by VB. But again, what we can write here, nRT C ln VB by VA. But here it will be negative because we write this VB here, no? So it will be negative, okay. So that means this is your QC, okay. So what you can write, that means QC, okay, sorry, QH by QC. So your QH by QC is equal to what? Your QH is equal to what? QH is equal to nRTH ln VB by VA, no? So here what to write? nRTH, okay, pH ln VB by VA, okay. And here nRT minus, na, this one minus nRTC ln VB by VA. So ln this part cancel, nr cancel, so it will be what? Minus TH by TC, QH by QC. So that means what we can write? That means so we have this value, no? Okay, so previously what we did, we said that dQc by TC is equal to minus dQH by TH to prove this one, to prove that cyclic integration of ds is equal to 0. What you have to put this dqc by tc is equal to minus dqh by th. That means here if you use this one, you see, if you cross multiply this one, qc by tc is equal to minus qh by th. So this one same, but if you multiply, if you do this one like this, then it will be again same thing. So that means we can use this relation in this step to prove that integration del integrations, that means the cyclic integration ds is equal to 0. That means the entropy is a state function for a Carnot cycle. Okay, so this is proof for a Carnot cycle. Okay, hope you understand up to this. So now in the next topic we're going to discuss about the next point. That means we're going to prove that this this integration is equal to 0. That means the entropy is state function for any material or any substances. Okay, so